Is there any way to get from the top number to the bottom number other than magic?
What do you mean by magic?
But I mean, like, you got the top number, and it's 3 numbers, and then all of a sudden you got 4 numbers in parentheses, 2 parentheses, 4 parentheses, a whole bunch of parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not totally clear to me that there's any way other than just being like, oh, hey, that worked. Other than, like, is there a systematized method we could use here?
Yeah, it's a little different because FOIL, works the same every single time, right? So it's first, outside, inside, last. So it's just a system that you perform every time. With factoring, going the other direction, it does enter a little bit of magic into the process, where there is a systematic thing we can do, but it is going to be a little bit of guessing. And it just has to be systematized guessing. So we can go over how we did this problem again. So remember, Leanne started with this first term. She saw an x squared. She knows we only get that when we multiply x and x together. So she put an x into each parenthesis. From there, she looked at this last term and said, okay, we have 4, so that means we have 2 numbers that multiply together to get 4, right? So what are some numbers that multiply together to get 4?
Like Leanne showed us, 4 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 and 2.
Right, so are there any other ones?
No.
Right, so there's 1 and 4, but that wouldn't matter because that's just the reverse of 4 and 1. So we start by basically choosing one of these. We don't know which one it's going to be. We need to try them both out. Leanne started with 4 and 1. So with 4 and 1 in there, we have 1 times 4 gives us that 4. But from there we get x times 1 and x times 4. So we would have like a 4x and a 1x. And so depending on how we manipulate those signs, those could be both positive, both negative, 1 negative, 1 positive. So we would have to try all those out to see if it gets 4x. So if they're both positive, we get 5x. That doesn't work. If they're both negative, we get negative 5x. If this one's negative and this one's positive, what do we get?
Negative 3x.
Right. And then if 4x is positive and 1x is negative, what do we get?
3x.
3x. Great. So which of these is correct?
This really doesn't appear that any of them are.
Right, because we want 4x. And here we have 5x, negative 5x, negative 3x, 3x. So none of those are going to give us that 4x.
Right.
Right. So we just exhausted all the possibilities of 4 and 1. And we didn't get the number we were looking for.
Okay.
So what do we do from there?
Exhaust all the possibilities of 2, 2.
Great. So I put my 2's in here. 2 times 2 is going to give me 4. And then what signs do I need to put in so that I get 4x?
Plus.
On this one?
Yeah.
And what about over here?
Yeah. Same.
Same? Alright, so we're gonna get our x squared. Then we're gonna get our 4. And what are we gonna get in the middle?
4x.
4x. Right away? Yeah. So we end up with 4x. You even magicked a step, which is great.
That's because I remembered.
So yeah, so you are getting these numbers by foiling, right? So when you do the inside and the outside, you're going to get 2x plus 2x, and that's going to give you that 4x that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Right?
That's cool.
Great. So like I mentioned, we have a worksheet full of problems for you guys to work on. I'm going to be going around and answering questions. Are there any questions before we get started?
Let's do this.
Alright, let's do it, guys.